Hello everybody, thank you for joining me for another one today. Behind me right here sits my 2011 Salvage Ram 1500, and today we are going to be rebuilding this thing in as little time as possible. I need a truck again. We have all the parts, we have all the things we need. I'm gonna get this thing fired up, we're gonna pull it around into the shop and get this thing rebuilt.
Getting this truck on the road is a very exciting prospect. This is a project I've been putting off for quite some time now, and the last couple of months is the first time since I was 16 years old that I haven't had a truck to drive. And damn, I must say it is not an experience I am eager to recreate.
We managed to get all the new parts we need for only $600, which includes this white hood. I know it's the wrong color. We'll find the correct colored hood, but we got everything else we needed and it included that. So what is the guy gonna do? Got our new plastic pieces for under the headlights right here. Actually, I shouldn't say all for $600. We paid an extra $100 and got those mirrors from somebody else so we can replace that one. Got the new piece underneath the bumper, like the new bracket for it. And it came with fog lights, even though we don't really need fog lights, and the harness still on the back of it. Then we got the upper tray. We got a second one of these for the bumper, which we don't need, but we have anyways. We got a grill, we got that hood, and then we also got a second sport bumper because the guy didn't want to sell any of this stuff without the bumper, but it was cheap enough that hard to argue with that. So we have all the parts we need. We have the truck right here. First thing we need to do is replace the crash bar. So I'm gonna get this one peeled off, I'm gonna get the new one tossed on, and I'll meet you guys after that.
Getting the old crash bar off the truck turned out to be a wee bit of a pain in the rear end. The Carfax didn't reveal much about previous damage to the vehicle, but clearly the crash bar had taken a bit of a hit at some point, and this meant it was binding upon itself when I went to remove it from the truck. It just goes to show that you never know what you'll find when working on a used vehicle, but that's okay because usually there is a solution available, and a solution available that's not very hard. It took a little bit of convincing with the pry bar, but eventually I was able to get the old crash bar off, and with the old crash bar off, I was able to bust out the torch, bust out the crescent wrench, and get the flanges all straightened up so that we could mount the new crash bar. The metal on these flanges was exceptionally thin, which made it very nice in my case to get it all straightened up. All it took was setting the crescent wrench to the correct depth, and working my way around nice and slow to make sure I hit and got any and all areas that were misshapen in any way. It didn't take much, a little bit of effort, a little bit of love, and a little bit of convincing, and we got them back nice and straight. It might seem like a scary or daunting task, but it only took me about 10 minutes and the results were awesome.
Beautiful. It's a very thin metal. They bend very easily. A few minutes with a torch and a crescent wrench. Perfectly straight. Very happy with that. If you look, everything is ready to go. Get that crash bar on and keep going from there.
With our freshly straightened flanges, the new crash bar install was quite easy. There's 3 bolts per side with 18mm nuts, and with those done and bolted up, the new crash bar was on.
Got a lovely pile of parts laying on the floor here. Let's get the front clip installed.
The front clip definitely took a little more effort and thought processing, but the results were quite fantastic once we got it all put together. For whatever reason, the sport front ends on these 4th gen Dodges are a royal pain in the butt to get together and have way too much plastic involved, but it wasn't too bad once I found the rhythm and realized how the puzzle was put together. The upper tray was to be put on first with the 4 bolts on the bottom side of it, and then after that we were able to get the lower portion that covers the crash bar all bolted on. That portion also houses the wiring for the fog lights as well as the fog lights themselves, and with that all plugged in and done, it really isn't too bad, and at that point you're ready to put the front bumper cover on. There are 7 bolts that secure the front bumper to the truck along with a series of clips. There's 1 bolt in the backside of each fender as you see me installing here, along with a series of 5 bolts on the underside of the bumper that bolt the bumper to the crash bar cover. With the bumper bolted onto the truck, we also installed our lower grille in the front bumper and then moved on to installing the headlights. The headlights are secured to the truck with a ball and socket design on the back of them, along with a sliding lock mechanism and a couple of bolts in the radiator support.
Alright, I've got the new grille on the table. If we look here, all the mesh on the back is all connected together. and it's all a part of the bracketry that holds the grill on the truck. And I would rather opt to have the slightly cracked grill, the original slightly cracked grill, at least for now, on the truck with that little bit of damage right there, than the white one. So we're gonna take and swap over all the backside stuff from the white grill to the red grill. And the cool part is, if you can tell, we've got the black mesh on this grill, whereas it's the chrome lines on that grill. And I like the black mesh better anyhow. We're gonna get this all unclipped, swapped over to the other one, and then we can keep going.
Getting the grill mesh swapped over from one grill to the other was probably one of the stupidest, most satisfying jobs I've done in a very long time. It's quite easy. All it is a series of clips following around the grill shell that secure the mesh to the shell, and once all of those clips are undone, it's as simple as lifting the two apart and you can go and install the new one on the shell. This part of the process was very satisfying and didn't take us that long. And with the new mesh installed on the red shell, we were able to get it installed on the truck, have our front clip completely together, and be ready to install the new hood.
Almost forgot. Put that guy on last time. I'm gonna finish it off with that guy right there. Perfect. Front clips all together. Time to get the broken hood off. Swap the miscolored one on. Let's see. Thought about vinyl wrapping it with some of my fractured carbon material. I think we're just gonna leave it for now. Actually, looking on Marketplace and whatever else, I found a couple of color matched hoods around, and I may as well just wait until I can get my hands on one that's the correct color. Just run this one for now. For the salvage inspection, they don't care about the color. I can just resell this at another minute as a white hood to somebody who needs a white hood, and all will be well. So I'm gonna take this hood off, get this one on, get it all lined up, and we'll be good to go.
For any and all among you who have ever swapped a hood before, you know how easy this process is, and you also know how much of a pain in the butt this process is. There's only 4 nuts that secure the hood to the truck, but that is not the difficult part about installing a new hood. Getting your gaps correct can be insanely difficult, and in this case, it fought me pretty hard. We were able to get it within a close enough spec to what I was happy with, and it did exactly what it needed to for the purposes of a salvage inspection.
So we are bolted up, done for the day. The white hood kind of ruins the picture, but it should do plenty good for now. We've got gaps aren't quite perfect around the edges of the hood, but it's okay because it's temporary. I fought with it a bit and got them decent, but I didn't try too hard because we will be replacing this hood again very shortly with a correct colored one. The white hood is only on here for now because we need it on to pass the salvage inspection, and the salvage inspection is in a couple days here. But we've got front clip all back together, truck is all assembled. Quite happy with the results, went together quite nicely. The next step in the process is going to be giving it a full fitness assessment and making sure it is all ready for the salvage inspection. We're going to have, there's a couple things I know we're going to have to replace. We're going to replace the CV axles, both boots are leaking. We're gonna have to give the suspension and brake systems a full once over, along with, we'll go through the checklist and make sure that all the boxes are checked off that need to be checked off to make it past the salvage inspection. The salvage inspection is booked. I'm about to head home, and I'll catch you guys in the next one where we'll go through, get everything all ready, and make sure it is good to pass a salvage inspection and get on the road. Thank you guys for joining today. Please, 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 if you are enjoying this content, like, comment, subscribe, engage with it. I know it might not mean that much to you guys, but every one of you who does, I really, really appreciate it. It helps me get some growth and it helps get things moving on the back end. So thank you all very much for being here. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one.